We've all gotten lost in those epic anime sagas, right? But have you ever stopped to wonder what the actual blueprint for one looks like? Well, today we're going under the hood. We're looking at the master plan for a new anime called EON Rise to see exactly how the magic is made.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How is an epic anime actually born? Is it just some lightning strike of inspiration? Not really. We got our hands on a production guide that shows how these massive stories are actually built, piece by methodical piece, from the ground up. Let's dig in.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the basic tools every storyteller needs. Then we'll see how the world and the hero get built, what kicks off the main conflict, how the battles are actually planned out, and finally, how the ending is really designed to be a beginning. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a production plan for a 10-minute anime called EON Rise. Now, this thing is heavily inspired by the greats. We're talking Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. It gives us this really rare peek behind the curtain at the architectural plans for a modern epic. Every single scene in this guide is broken down into these 5 parts. You've got style, visuals, and sound. That's pretty standard stuff. But here's where it gets interesting. The 2 most important parts are purpose, the core reason the scene exists, and prompt, which gives direct, actionable instructions to the creators. It's a complete package deal, telling you not just what to make, but more importantly, why you're making it. So how does a framework like this actually build a story? Well, any epic needs a rock-solid foundation, right? And the EON Rise Guide dedicates the crucial first 2 minutes to doing just that. And this isn't just a simple intro. It's a totally strategic move to get the audience grounded in the world and connected to a hero they can root for. And this slide just illustrates the technique perfectly. Just look at that contrast. Scene 1, it's all about the world. It uses these huge, wide shots, the sound of the wind, a soft piano, and the purpose is super clear: establish mystery and a sense of scale. Then boom, the very next minute, the focus snaps in tight. The style becomes emotional, the sound shifts to a lonely heartbeat, and the purpose? Introduce our hero as an underdog. It's just a masterful 1-2 punch of world building and character intro. And this level of intention just keeps on going. The guide calls for a flashback, and look at its stated purpose: to create an emotional connection. It's so explicit. It even spells out how to do it. Use muted, desaturated colors and a shaky handheld camera feel to really sell the pain of a memory. You see, the how is always in service of the why. Okay, so we've got our world, we've got our hero. Now the story needs an engine. This next phase of the blueprint is where the plot really ignites. It's all about meticulously escalating from a quiet internal struggle to a massive external threat that launches our hero's journey for real. The guide builds this conflict on a really smart 3-step ladder. First, it starts internally, right? In this dark psychological space where the hero just senses some hidden power. Then that power becomes physical in that classic power-up moment. And it's only after that internal journey is set up that the external enemy finally shows up. It's this logical buildup that makes the big confrontation feel totally earned. And let's talk about that villain reveal for a second. The guide doesn't just say, hey, show the bad guy. No way. It gives a specific cinematic instruction: low angle leading to a dominance shot. Just by putting the camera below the villain and forcing us to look up, it instantly screams power, menace, and superiority, all without a single word of dialogue. That is pure visual storytelling. All right, the stage is set. It's time for the fight. But in a great epic, a fight is never just a fight, you know? It's a story all on its own. This part of the guide is literally a blueprint for choreographing action where every single punch, every block, every energy blast has a purpose and pushes the narrative forward. This table breaks down the battle's story beautifully. The first clash, it uses extreme angles and slow-mo to show our hero has grown, but not enough to win, at least not yet. Then, after he gets knocked down, we get a low-angle rise shot. Notice that? It's the exact same technique used to introduce the villain, but now it's flipped to show our hero's willpower. So clever. Finally, the last strike uses a freeze frame to deliver what the guide calls a cliffhanger victory. So what in the world is a cliffhanger victory? Well, it's a totally strategic choice. The hero wins the battle right in front of him, pushing the enemy back, but he doesn't destroy them for good. This gives us that satisfying resolution for the episode, while at the same time cranking up the stakes. It's basically telling the audience, hey, this was just the warm-up. The real threat is still out there, and it's way bigger than you thought. It's the perfect tool for building a long-running saga. And that brings us to the final moments. Now, the blueprint is very, very clear on this. The end of this 10-minute short is not a conclusion. It's a launchpad. It is designed from the ground up to be the start of everything that comes next. Yeah, this is where it all pays off. That final scene is literally designed as a promise. After all that intense action, the style becomes calm. It becomes hopeful. We see our hero, all battle-worn, just looking out at a rising sun, as this optimistic music starts to swell. That's not the end. That is the guide's way of screaming. The real journey is just getting started.
So when you look back at this whole blueprint, the main lesson is really about intentionality. Every single scene has to have a clear purpose. Those cinematic choices, like camera angles and sound, they're not just there to look cool. They are specific tools used to create specific emotions. And a great saga builds logically, from the world to the character to the conflict, always making sure the end of one chapter is the hook for the next one.
This entire incredibly detailed blueprint was for just 10 minutes of animation. Think about that. It's such a powerful reminder that truly epic stories are often built, not just born. And it really just leaves you with one question. With a toolkit this powerful, what kind of story would you build?